Friday morning of skid steering. Dad's, I'm packing the grapple over here. We actually, this tract of timber in here belongs to another landowner, and we brought Dad's Ranger over this morning. We rode through that timber, and it's a pretty good click through there. It's a pretty big patch of timber. It's been logged, you know, probably in the last 20 years, so there really isn't a whole lot in there. There's some decent walnut in there, nothing out of this world, you know. I think there's one good tree. It goes like maybe 21 or 22 inches. But other than that, they're just trees. We did that, and we were kind of hoping to hear something from this morning, because I talked to the gentleman yesterday about it, and I told him we'd look at it this morning, and we were hoping he'd go ahead and pull the trigger on it, and he seemed pretty eager to, and we were going to try to start cutting some of those walnut and get them laid out here, but we got done looking, called, and didn't hear anything, left a message, you know, and kind of been waiting around. And we sorted these logs out. We wrote them up that way they can be scaled. It makes all the difference in the world laying these things out neat like this. And we'll drive here between the pile. We're going clear over to the other side of the farm now where we started. I'm cutting through. Dad's going around. But this is just sycamore, maple, and ash right here, a little pile. Put it another way, it's maple, one sycamore, and one ash. But good looking logs there. Kind of lay them out where the air will hit them, kind of sweeten them up a little bit. You lay them out like that, all the ends, all the small ends facing one direction. They're easy to scale. You can run right down through there, scale them up real quick, get a good accurate measurement on the length and the diameter. That's really the best way to do it. But here in a minute, we're going to get up here to this crossing where you see where I about got hung up in the skid steer yesterday. Of course, I'm packing the grapple over here because we're going to do a little cleanup over here where we started as well. We'll eventually come back over here because, I mean, I left the bucket. I can't pack everything at once. Got it in high gear here, but sometimes the high gear just isn't high enough. Almost need a 3-speed. That's a big pecan grove there. A lot of pecan groves over here. So now this thing will be rough. We'll have to slow down a little bit. Yeah, right here. That is where the old skid steer about got hung up yesterday. I mean, we come real close to doing it. We had to push ourselves out backwards with the bucket. I'd take the bucket and just shove down in front of me, then push. That was the only way we got out. Let me think here, the best way to go. We'll just run right up this way. I'm doing a little cleanup over here. There was 2 trees on this farm, 2 walnut trees, should I say, not just 2 trees, but 2 walnut trees. One of them was right here, and it was a pain to get down because it was actually growing into another tree. The top of it was, but we fell it out here in this field, and I mean, this is row crop. They put this in beams, and this is where the skid steer and grapple come in handy. We were able to take all this tree top, rake the ground really good, and put all the tree top back in there in that fence row and that brush, which we understand they're going to doze that out anyway, but until they do, it'll be right there and it won't be in the way in case they need to work this ground up or apply fertilizer, anhydrous, or anything for the upcoming spring. So now we got that done, I'm going to show you another big reason why I bought this little longer trailer here. It's a 30-foot overall, 25-foot deck is what the new trailer is, versus my old one was a 25-foot overall, 20-foot deck. Like I said, since there was 2 walnut trees on the whole job here, we couldn't afford to sell these walnut trees right here on the job site. So something like this, we got to haul them back to our yard. Well, this is where this trailer shines right here. Of course, anymore, a lot of times people will call us for just a handful of walnut trees. And this trailer's long enough I can put the skid steer all the way on the back and still put a few walnut logs on the front. Like here we have the Ranger on the back and the logs on the front. So that works out pretty good. Now we'll go down here and we'll clean the brush up. Well, let's go over here and get this one done real quick. We'll get this tree top piled up here real quick where we fell this water oak out here in this field. This is a hay field here. We'll get it raked up real good. They don't need to be bailing up any sticks or anything. So I'll get this raked up and we'll go down to the log pile. Now this big water oak treetop here, it busted up real fine when it hit the ground, so when we raked it, we applied a little more pressure. We didn't scratch the ground too bad, but we applied enough pressure to that way it'd be sure to get up all those little sticks and stuff. Now we'll go over here to where we had the log deck. We'll start there and start getting all that stuff kind of cleaned up and beat back into the timber. Like I said just a little bit ago, we already had the logs bucked up, we got them rode up. And really, this is, I know I brag about this skid steer and what we do with it all the time, but my log buyers absolutely love coming and buying logs from us. It doesn't matter if it's maple, like this, walnut, or whatever, because we will take the time and we will lay those butts out. We will lay them out all one direction, and they absolutely love it. You know, when you're pleasing the guys that got the checkbook, chances are you're going to get a little more money for your logs. That's fact. That is a fact. So we'll scrape this stuff up here real good, get it piled up, get this field cleaned up. We'll have this part of the job all slicked up here. All right, that's got it all slicked up here. Got some nice cover there, some habitat for wildlife, cover for deer, rabbits, squirrels, anything. Things all cleaned up like it was. Deck's clear and clean, no brush, no debris. Everything looks good, just how it was when we started. That's how we want to leave it. We actually want to leave it in a little better shape than when we did start. So, got all the debris cleaned up around the field where we've cut. Got all the logs rode up and piled here to where they can be easily scaled, pulled on right between the middle of the truck, loaded on each side. Pretty cut and clean process. So that's about got us wrapped up for today. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab these forks and I'll park the skid steer down here, kind of away from the road a little bit. I never like parking things real close to the road because you never know when people might be feeling a little kind of squirrely and want to mess with your stuff. We sure don't need that. So I'll grab the forks here. We'll park this machine down there by the log pile. Kind of a better look at these maple here. These maple were the first ones we cut and they're a little squirrely. They didn't cut real good. There's a few good ones on this end down there on the lower end, but for the most part, they're big brown-hearted maple. They're just not real good quality at all. I mean, they're just, be honest, they're terrible. That's no other way to put it. A couple water oak in there they'll make mats out of, crane mats, but for the most part, there'll be very little grade logs and mainly pallet. Cat's parked there, down here out of the way. And that's got this part of it wrapped up. All right. We're back on the yard. We'll unload these logs and put them out here. We'll keep these separated. These will be the first logs we haul in for a new pile. The ones we sold here Sunday, I think they got the first load out today. So next time I get the skid steer here, if they don't already get them bunched up, which I hope they get them pretty quick. They said they would, but sometimes you never know, especially like logs in our yard, because they know they can get these anytime, weather permitting. So a lot of times they'll wait until it rains. That way they've got a place they can keep hauling logs, which is good and bad. It's bad because we definitely need the room. We don't have a whole lot of room up here to start staging logs in, but we'll put them up here and keep everything separate, get everything scaled up once we get it off. And I'm going to go ahead and kick the ramps down. I want to get Dad's Ranger off here. Then I'm going to get some diesel fuel and head to the house. It is pitch night, and I'm going to play a game of pitch tonight. Cause I like to play pitch because I'm old. I'm 33, and I act like I'm 83. So Dad's coming in the Mac, so I'm going to get this unboomed to get the Ranger off here, and we'll see if we can get some logs unloaded. That there concludes today's grand adventure. It really wasn't much of a grand adventure at all. It's and days like today, just when you don't get a whole lot done productively. I mean, we cut one tree. That's all we did today, is cut one tree. Did some cleanup, sorted some logs out, looked at some timber, got those 6 logs hauled back home. But other than that, those are rough days right there. I just I like to be more productive, more on the go. The highlight of the day was we stopped in at Deerfield to eat lunch where we're cutting logs at. Of course, you know, we had those logs on the trailer, and Had Dad's Ranger on the trailer, and guy there where we stopped to eat, we go to leave, and he's like, so tell me, you know, kind of like one of those things you'd see in a movie. He's like, so tell me, what are those logs worth? What are they really worth? Which we don't discuss figures for our clients, you know. That's stuff like that's confidential, but you know, the guy's like, really, what are they worth? And so we just kind of, you know, tell him it depends on the log, you know, it depends on the quality of the tree. They're worth their weight in gold, aren't they? They're just gold. The funniest part, before we had a chance to say anything, the old gal running the cash register, she says, "Don't be stupid. Have you seen the price of gold?" The look on his face was awesome, and then I like to died laughing. Before I could even say anything, she got right in there. That's she's pretty quick. But it was funny. But that's a common misconception. People automatically assume because you've got Walnut, you've got thousands of dollars, and that's not true. You know, it takes a special kind of log to bring big money. Even if it is Walnut. Yeah, I mean, bad walnut logs are still worth more than a lot of good oak logs, but it's just, you know, when you got a bunch of 11, 12, 13-inch logs, they're not going to bring a lot of money. They're not going to do it. Your big money logs are the 20-inch plus logs, the 24-inch plus logs that are clean, you know, your high dollar veneer. That's what brings the money, not these little two-sided 11, 12, 13-inch logs. Those are just a low-grade lumber log. They are. That's why we blend ours when we sell them. We try to blend it all together. That way we can kind of even it out. Because, yeah, we'll have some logs that bring good money, but then we'll have a bunch of logs that bring subpar. You got to mix them together. That way you can try to have a good average and just have a lot of footage in there to keep, you know, staying that good average. Man, there's a lot to logging. There really is. More than people think. People think, you know, you just go out there and cut trees and sell them. If you got a logger that's doing that, if you've hired a logger that's all he's doing, you should probably look at getting a different logger. It's just, there's so much that goes into logging. All aspects of it, from the harvesting to the selling, cleanup work, prep, harvest plans. There's just a lot that goes into logging if you're going to do it right. So I always urge everyone, make sure you've got a good reputable logger. Make sure you've got someone that's state certified, carries the proper insurance. Just do your homework on your loggers. And I've got a lot of competition out there, I do, that, yeah, they're my competition, but you know what? They're class acts. They really are. They're a good bunch of guys. And it's hard for me to say that because we compete against each other all the time, but they really are. They're a good bunch of guys. And I would almost guarantee, give me a 90-10. I'd almost, all right, 90% chance they're going to say the same thing about me on the reel because, you know, they understand. They're trying to do things the way things should be done, but at the same time, we deal with so many fly-by-night guys because they've got a Craftsman chainsaw and an 8N4 tractor. They think they're loggers. Man, all they do is go out there and make a mess of things, butcher the timber up, and they lose you money because they don't know what they're doing. Then you've got a mess, too. Do your homework, guys. Do your homework. Do your homework. I'm getting off here. Like I said, it's pitch night. I've got a few things I need to do around the house. Shit, I've got to stop and get diesel fuel, too for tomorrow. So, if you want to get off here, guys, as always, thanks a lot for hanging out with us today on this boring Friday. Maybe tomorrow we'll have some action for you. Right now it's just kind of day by day. We've got some things coming up that'll be a little more exciting, but right now we just, you know, that's logging, man. That's logging, ups and downs. But be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video here. Share the channel, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Turner Logging LLC. Be sure to check out Logger Threads for all your timber apparel needs. Timber Tracker, the app, timbertracker.net, the website, the new website will be so, excuse my French, it'll be so badass. It's going to be badass. When it's live, it should be live. I was hoping I'd get a call today about it going live. I really was, the new website. What's bad is the new website is going to be live before the updates on the app are out. And that's terrible because the updates of the app have been done since May. It has just been a horrific nightmare. So guys, check all that out. We're going to get off here. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, which I'm sure I will, Take care, guys. See ya.